Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. In this particular Palmistry video, we'll be talking about a client asking one particular question. His question is, hello, what's the meaning of those lines under lines of lines in the lines of Mercury? Hello, what's the meaning of those lines in line of Mercury and the cross below Saturn finger? So I think basically what he's doing is he's thinking of this particular area to be the area of Saturn. This is not the area of Saturn. Basically, this is the area of Saturn. And these lines he's referring to, these are the perpendicular lines that he's referring to. We would zoom in further and try to explain to you what basically the meaning is. You would notice that these lines that you see under the fourth finger, the shortest finger, these lines are not very clear kind of lines. These are very weak kind of comparatively weaker lines. Whenever the lines are very distinct and clear, by distinct and clear we means very deep and clear. These lines need not be broad lines, but just distinct and clear lines. No broad line is considered to be good. Just for reference sake, the line I've drawn appears to be broad, but the meaning is basically the line should be deep and clear. Deep and clear lines basically signify that the person has got great set of skills. And if a person has got a very good set of skills, the chances for success basically increase. So these lines that you see out here are indicative of good skill. The person does not have these kind of lines. He is having comparatively weaker lines. Weaker lines basically mean that the person is probably not sharpening the skills. Still, if we compare it to some other people's hand where the lines might be a little bit wavy or kind of very broken kind, those are even worse. The person has comparatively better lines, like it's a little bit better. But these lines are very not so distinct, so it means that the person has not sharpened his skill, and because the person has not sharpened his skills, the chances for his success basically become less. The first thing is that. The other thing before I answer this particular cross that he's referring to, I would just try to tell you a few more things, that just having a cross or having these kind of lines need not still give success, because if the heart line is not distinct and clear, you would see that in his case the heart line has got many branches over it. These are the constant branches over it. It's an unclear kind of a line. It's not a singular kind of a line. These lines basically mean that the person is not able to stick to one field of work. The person is not able to fix his goal. The person basically exits one particular work abruptly, and the person might venture out into a relationship and just exits that particular relationship in a very abrupt manner. So these, if a person does not have a very clear-cut clear-cut understanding of his feelings and his focus, the chances for success are not going to be there, in spite of, even if the person has got a very deep and clear line of skill, even then the person might not get as much success as he can get, because he's constantly getting distracted. He's constantly flirting. Flirting in his job. Flirting in his job does not mean flirting with opposite sex. It means that he's not focusing on his work, and he's dabbling into many different fields of work. Because he's dabbling into too many fields of work, that's the chances basically are becoming remote, because as he's about to get success, he changes his field of work. And because he changes his field of work often, and he's not sharpening, like he's not able to commit himself to one field of work, that's the reason he's not going to be successful. So this is a way of looking how a person can be successful or need not be successful. So even his emotional life is going to be turbulent because the line is not, lines are broken, line of heart is not so distinct and clear. So uh, chances are not good in his case. The other aspect is this is his headline, and there are few backward lines that are going backward, and these are kind of, and this is the lifeline, so they're going, they're targeted towards the inner amount of Mars. This is the amount of Mars. The area is cut, so I am not able to show the whole palm. So if they are targeting towards the, it's targeting backward towards the negative Mars, the chances for anger, aggression is going to be there. The person is going to be aggressive, and because it's on the mind line, so mental aggression is going to develop in his case. Backward lines sometimes also depict that there could be court cases, or he would have to deal with court and police and all these things. Or it could be purely and purely aggression coming to his mind, and that's the reason the person is not successful. You'll also notice that the money line, this is the money line, it's coming and ending somewhere at the headline. This is the headline. So the intersection out here is 35. So that's where things are going to basically fall apart. What's going to happen is probably his relationships are going to go downturn, like he might go in for a divorce. These backward lines could also mean divorce. Not necessarily it is always divorce, but because we are seeing these inconsistent heart line, that's the reason we might indicate that it could mean leading to a divorce, or his career goes downhill. Because his career goes downhill, that's the reason again he's inconsistent also, and his money also dries up. So what's going to happen? The chances for his divorce increase because he doesn't have any money. This everybody is bound together due to materialism, and there's some materialism in every relationship as well. Even this is a husband wife, even in a relationship of mother and their offsprings, there's still like even the mother expects something out of it. There's no true relationship. Some amount of money is always there in a relationship. So this is the reason why money plays a big part in our relationships as well. As far as this particular sun line goes, it's reasonably okay. So reasonably good career can be expected, but these lines basically kind of destroys it. So the hand can show different indications, like a palm can have good as well as bad signs in it. Some of the signs might indicate a good possibility, and some might indicate negative possibility. So both these things play out in one's life. If you notice, in his case, this is the lifeline. It is ending somewhere ahead. It's ending somewhere at the age of 50s. But another line is overlapping. So overlapping line is considered to be a very beautiful sign. It means that more energies are going to come into this particular person, and that's the reason probably like he's going to be more successful. Energies is required for success, and without energies nobody can be successful. So we would basically we would try to see the timing of when things might improve. You would notice that we would see this particular thing on the headline. This is the headline, and they are backward lines. So backward are basically negatives. So the intersection of the money and the headline is, this is age 35. This is the headline. On the headline, this is before the age of 35, and this is after the age of 35. So just remember this. I'm just going to so this intersection is after the age of 35, this portion. So you yourself are going to notice that the headline is not so clear during the early period and even a little bit afterwards. So 35, 36, 37, 30, 30 to 39 or 40, things are going to be there in trouble. But after that, you will notice that the line is very distinct and clear. So clarity in the mind comes about somewhere after the age of 40. Probably that's the reason why things are going to improve during those particular period. And the last question regarding his is, before I basically answer this particular question, I will just go back to thing basically I tell in all my palm readings is that press the subscribe button, press the bell icon to get regular updates from me. Palmistry video consists of various permutation combinations. We as palmists may miss out on many points. This is just a partial palmistry reading of the palm. The best reading comes out with a dialogue and not a monologue. Dialogue is when two people are talking. Monologue is just from my side. Generally, every client wants to know about money, name, fame, health, family life. Not everything can be known by the lines. Lines have its importance, but it is not so important. Less lines without any spatial sign can give excellent result. Fish, lotus, Trishul may still give like you don't need to have any of these signs to get good results in your life. You can be very successful in spite of having no fish sign, no lotus sign, no M sign, and still you are successful. Trishul also pointing towards a finger is good, but even Trishul should be very distinct and clear. Only then the person might be successful. Trishul, V or a Y, and pointing towards a finger is considered to be good. And lastly, even if someone does not have a money or a sun line, it doesn't mean no money, no career. It might be the opposite. It might mean unlimited possibilities. Palmistry is not just about lines, it is more about the hand structure, feel, size, padding over the mounts. So coming back to his palm and his question was, what is the meaning of those lines in the lines of Mercury? This I have already answered, and the cross below the Saturn finger. So it's not the Saturn finger that we are referring to. We are basically looking at the sun mount. This is what we are going to look at, because this is the area of sun what he have drawn. So you would notice that it is kind of a V-like formation. It is getting a little bit crossed. So anything pointing towards a finger, any line pointing towards a finger, this is pointing towards the sun, so it is good. If it is kind of going a little bit in between, it is pointing towards the Mercury finger, it is again good. So Mercury is giving skill, and this is giving commitment to one's work, like the person is giving huge amount of energies to his work, so the chances basically increase. And the point at which there's a V or a Y pointing towards a finger, that is considered to be good, because positive energies are coming and getting trapped out here. So it is towards the end of the life. If this portion, if we draw somewhere out here, so this portion of the sun line is from the age of 53 and beyond. So this is still further in the life. So in the later period of his life, things are going to be better. But if a cross should be very distinct and clear, and a small cross over the mount could bring in disrepute. So there's a question that should we consider it to be a cross, or should we consider it to be a V or a Y? So it's more like a V or a Y pointing towards a finger. There's a little bit of crossing. So a cross like this would be more disastrous, but this would still be better, I would say. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you like this particular video. If you like the video, click on the like button. Do subscribe to my channel. Bye and take care. Thanks.